Yesterday, there was a virtual court hearing with Sidney Powell, Lin Wood, both pro-Trump attorneys who had filed challenges to the 2020 election, but they were facing a hearing in Michigan to determine whether or not they needed to be sanctioned for their actions. And as you would probably expect, the hearing quickly devolved into total chaos. Sidney Powell actually ended the hearing by throwing a massive tantrum, going on this long rant that I'm sure did nothing to help her case. And even after the hearing aired, which, by the way, they were prohibited from recording it, Lin Wood actually sent out to his supporters a snippet of the hearing that he recorded. So if you're trying to avoid sanctions, I don't think breaking the rules that the court had put in place are a good start here. But there was one point in the hearing that really stood out to me, and that was when Lin Wood attempted to actually throw Sidney Powell under the bus. And before I get to that, here's a little backstory on what's actually happening here. Basically, they're trying to determine whether or not these lawsuits were filed for the sole purpose of misleading the public. You know there's no evidence of voter fraud, okay? They have not been able to turn any of that over with these lawsuits. So, what's the point of the lawsuit if not to mislead the public? And that is one of the things discussed in the hearing. So, Lin Wood then says, well, hey, listen, I couldn't have been a part of this because somebody else put my name on one of these complaints that were filed in the court. I had nothing to do with that. I didn't do that. I didn't write my name on here. So no, I'm totally not a guilty party here. Sidney Powell did that. She put my name on it. Of course, Powell claims, nope, Lin Wood is lying. He did in fact put his name on this. He was a part of it from the beginning. So it is always nice to see when these two little rats, get backed into a corner together, they just start trying to tear one another down. But either way, we'll find out which one is lying. Maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe the truth is somewhere in the middle, right? Because after all, Mr. Wood did in fact tell another whopper at one point where he said he didn't have adequate notice of this sanctions hearing, which is a total lie because just last week, both he and Sidney Powell were trying to get out of having to appear for it. So you knew it was coming. All right, you had enough time to basically draft a new filing asking to not have to show up. So you knew it was there. And that's a verifiable lie that you told the court during your sanctions hearing. This doesn't end well for either one of them. Okay, the judge has their number. He knows, or she knows, I'm actually not even sure if it is a male or female judge, but either way, it doesn't matter. The judge understands why this case was filed. They wouldn't be having these hearings right now to determine whether or not this really was just an effort to mislead the public if they didn't already have a strong indication that that is what this is about. Wood and Powell are both likely going to face sanctions as a result of this. They could both be disbarred in the state of Michigan where these complaints were filed, where this hearing actually took place. And then it could all just snowball from there with the remaining lawsuits and, of course, with the defamation case that Sidney Powell is facing. Everything, even though they're not technically connected in court, everything is in fact connected to that one individual, Sidney Powell. So if she loses this, if she gets sanctioned, if they rule that she did this just to mislead the public, yeah, there goes any defense she may have had for that $1.3 billion defamation lawsuit that she is still facing. This episode is brought to you by CuriosityStream, a subscription streaming service that offers thousands of documentaries and nonfiction titles from some of the world's best filmmakers, including exclusive originals. CuriosityStream is the Netflix for nerds, the Hulu for history buffs, the Disney Plus for the scientists in us. CuriosityStream is also extremely affordable at under $20 per year. CuriosityStream is the world's first streaming service addressing our lifelong quest to learn, explore, and understand. Available on many platforms, you have the web app. It's available on Roku, Android, Xbox One, smart TVs, iOS, Chromecast, Amazon Fire, Amazon Kindle, and Apple TV. It's available worldwide, and its content spans science, nature, history, technology, society, and lifestyle. And CuriosityStream is adding new and exciting titles all the time as well. So go to curiositystream.com/ROF for unlimited access to the world's top documentaries and nonfiction series. And for our viewers, use promo code ROF and you're going to save 25% off, which comes out to only $14.99 per year. So click the link below or go to curiositystream.com/ROF and save 25% off right now, which is only $14.99 for the whole year.